Among the 8 great Buddhas, there is one known as the richest of all. His wisdom is as vast as empty space, and he can bestow treasures to fulfill the needs of all beings. Today, in 4 minutes, let me introduce you to Akasagarbha Bodhisattva. Part 1. The secret within his name. Akasagarbha. Akasagarbha means that his merit and wisdom are as boundless as the void. But why was he given this name? The Great Collection Sutra gives a metaphor. Imagine an extremely wealthy elder who owns countless treasures. With a generous heart, he gives without hesitation, trying to satisfy the needs of everyone. Akasagarbha Bodhisattva is the same. According to the wishes of sentient beings, he manifests treasures from the void. That is why he is called Akasagarbha, the Bodhisattva of the infinite treasury of space. Part 2. Where did he come from? Akasagarbha Bodhisattva does not originally belong to our world. According to the Akasagarbha Bodhisattva Sutra, he came from a Western Buddha land. The Buddha of that land is called Lotus Flower Treasury Tathagata. Together with countless Bodhisattvas, he came to this world to pay homage to Shakyamuni Buddha. But here is the fascinating part. He did not arrive in an ordinary way. A lotus flower rose from the earth, and he appeared seated upon it, radiant and majestic. Part 3. The Buddha's praise. Shakyamuni Buddha highly praised Akasagarbha Bodhisattva. He called him a supreme field of merit for all sentient beings. His concentration is as deep as the ocean. His vows are as high as Mount Meru. His patience is as firm as diamond. His courage is as swift as the wind. His wisdom is as vast as the void, and his spiritual power is beyond imagination. Among all Buddhas, his status is extremely high, second only to the Buddha. Part 4. His appearance, Akasagarbha Bodhisattva, is easy to recognize. He wears a crown adorned with the 5 Buddhas. His body shines with a purple golden radiance. In his right hand, he holds a sword. Flames rise from its blade, symbolizing wisdom that cuts through ignorance and affliction. In his left hand, he holds a lotus, and above the lotus rests a wish-fulfilling jewel. This jewel represents merit and blessings, able to fulfill the needs of all sentient beings. The sutras describe him as seated in purple golden light with a wish-fulfilling jewel shining above him. To see that jewel is to see the radiance of the Buddhas. Part 5. The story of Kukai in Japan. In the 8th century, faith in Akasagarbha Bodhisattva spread to Japan. The most famous practitioner was Master Kukai. Before traveling to China to seek the Dharma, Kukai practiced the Akasagarbha method on Mount Teryu in Shikoku, Japan. For 7 full years, he devoted himself to this practice. It was believed to strengthen memory, open wisdom, and remove obstacles. Later, Kukai inherited esoteric Buddhism and became the founder of the Shingon school. From then on, Akasagarbha Bodhisattva became widely venerated in Japan. Part 6. The Akasagarbha Mantra. The mantra of Akasagarbha Bodhisattva is often recited by Buddhist practitioners. It is said to increase memory, awaken wisdom, and bring clarity to the mind. The end. The life of Akasagarbha Bodhisattva is a life of giving. He is like the void. It seems to contain nothing, yet it holds everything. Because it is empty, it can embrace all things. Because it has no fixed form, it can give birth to endless treasures. As the sutra says, the void makes no distinctions, yet all things arise within it. The wisdom of Akasagarbha Bodhisattva is just like this, born from emptiness, free and miraculous, beyond imagination. There was no Monkey King. There was no Piggsy. The real Xuanzang left the border alone. A lone hero crossed 800 miles of desert. Lu Zong once called him the backbone of the nation. Today, let me introduce you to the real Tang's monk. Part 1. The young Xuanzang. Xuanzang's secular name was Chen Yi. He was from Yangqi, Henan. At the age of 13, he became a monk in Louis because his family was poor. He lived with his elder brother at Jingtu Temple, even as a young boy. He showed extraordinary talent. He traveled across the country, visited famous teachers, and studied scriptures such as the Nirvana Sutra. But the more deeply he studied, the more yachts he had. At that time, many Chinese translations of Buddhist scriptures were incomplete, and some explanations contradicted each other. So at the age of 25, Xuanzang made a bold decision. He would go to India to seek the original scriptures. Part 2. Secretly traveling west. In the first year of Zhangguan, Xuanzang requested permission to travel west. But his request was denied. At that time, the Teng's government strictly forbade people from leaving the country. That autumn, a disaster struck Guangzhou, and people were allowed to leave in search of food. Xuanzang mixed in with the refugees and quietly left Cheng'an. When he reached Liangzhou, Li Daoling ordered him to return east. Fortunately, disciples of Master Wei secretly escorted him onward. At Guazhou, Governor Li Chang received an arrest order. Xuanzang admitted who he was, but Li Chang was moved, tore up the document, and said, "Master, hurry and go." Part 3. Alone in the desert, an old man in Guazhou gave him an old horse that knew the desert road. He also accepted a man named Xu Pant as a temporary disciple and guide. But halfway through the journey, Xu Pantua wanted to kill him. Xuanzang had no choice but to let him go. Then he entered the 800-mile desert alone. There were no birds above, no beasts below, only endless sand. By accident, he knocked over his water bag. Spilling the last drops into the sand, he turned back, hoping to find water. But after walking more than 10 miles, he suddenly made a vow. "I would rather die going west than return east alive," for 5 days and 4 nights. He had not a single drop of water. Both man and horse collapsed in the desert. At midnight, a cool wind woke him. He struggled forward and finally discovered an oasis. His life was saved. Part 4. Studying in India. When Xuanzang arrived in Gaoshan, King Ku Wentai treated him like a brother. He gave him attendance, supplies, and letters of passage to the kingdoms ahead. When crossing the snow mountains, 1/3 of his companions froze to death while crossing the Indus River. He nearly died at the hands of bandits. At last, he arrived at Nalanda Monastery, India's greatest Buddhist university. Thousands of monks studied there, and his library held countless scriptures. Master Shilapadra personally taught him the profound teachings of yoga. Xuanzang studied at Nalanda for 5 years and became one of the most respected scholars there. Part 5. The Great Debate at King Hash held a grand assembly for Xuanzang. 18 kings of India, 3,000 monks, and 2,000 Brahmins attended. Xuanzang presented his doctrine for 18 days. No one could refute him. Mahayana scholars honored him as the Mahayana heaven. Hinayana scholars honored him as the heaven of liberation.